Vaughan, I'm delighted to be chatting with a fellow author, myself and Steve Evans here.
Hello, it's nice to
Hi,
be here.
Vaughan, how you doing? Just talking a little bit about you. You say on your Twitter or X, as it is now known, that you live in Wales. Is that Carmarthenshire? I tell you, couldn't even say it yesterday when we were talking about it.
Steve's from
Yeah.
Wales as well, so he knows.
Yeah, it's just south of Carmarthen, so about 10 miles away. It's a nice area.
It's not that far then from there. Yeah. I know where you are. Yeah. Cool. So you've been there all your life then?
No, I was in Devon before this, East Devon, Exmouth. I don't know if you know that, near Exeter.
Yeah. I know it. Yeah. So, what made you move up? Was it just lifestyle, job, or just
A bit of
fancy the
both.
move?
Cost of living, it's expensive in East Devon, and also for work as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Vaughan, before we talk about your the Project Pilgrim book series, tell us what you do outside of writing. Any hobbies?
I used to be a bit of a gamer, so PC games. I haven't really done much of it at the moment. Did a bit of electronic art, so hence my book covers. The ones that you're showing on the screen there, I've designed those myself.
Excellent.
But then I started writing, and that's pretty much my hobby now. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Interesting about book covers, because we often ask various authors, about where they get the designs done for the book covers, and a lot of people farm it out to, obviously people who are experts in book covers. But it's good that you do your own, and we do know one or two people who have done their own. But it's not that many, to be honest. But yeah, so good for you. Excellent. Yeah.
I was a bit nervous doing it at first. I did my first cover, and then I thought, well, I'll get a professional to do it, and then just decided I pulled the professional cover and put my own back on there.
Nice one. Do you know, just today for my own book cover, I've only got one book published. I was talking to Nigel Parkinson. Me and Steve, we've had a chat with him. He's the Chief Beano cartoonist. He sent me an excellent design today, but it's like 150 meg. And he said you can make changes on it, whatever, to the font size. And I haven't got a clue. I haven't got Photoshop. So I'm going to just stare at it for a while and hope it fixes itself to exactly as I want it.
Yeah, I don't really use Photoshop. No,
it's
expensive.
Yeah.
Is it Canva you use more?
I use GIMP for some things, and Inkscape. I've started using Blender for some other stuff.
Okay.
So for the image behind me, I use Blender to create that.
Anyway, you've written 2 novels in the Project Pilgrim series, Lithium and Snowfall, as shown by Terry there, both in the sci-fi genre. So without spoilers, tell us about these and the main character, Raff, which I was doing a little bit of research into last night, but not a great deal. So give us some background.
It's a bit of a slightly long story. A few years ago, I did this doodle for a colleague of mine. They asked me, "Oh, can you draw me a giraffe?" So I drew this suited giraffe man with a briefcase with a gun in it, and then the idea sort of stewed for a while. His name was Raff, and then come COVID, I was locked down at home. I started writing the story, so sort of anthropomorphize people, animal people, and then I dropped the story for a couple of years, and then started it up again 2022, and then got rid of all the animal people stuff. Just wrote a more serious story about Raff himself. Is try not to spoil it. So he has his demons. He's just trying to live his normal life, but things don't go the way he plans, basically.
Okay.
So if you want to know any more, you read the books.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So yeah, have you many have you got many more planned for this series, or is there a trilogy, or is there going to be 4 to 5, or is it you two you've done it now, or where are you going with it?
The story I've put together can sort of go on. It has that potential to just continue infinitely, basically. But I've got 3 planned at the moment. So Lithium and Smokefall. Smokefall is with the beta readers at the moment, so it's almost out. And then I've got another one. I'm sort of calling it Acheron at the moment, but that might change. But that's as far as I've got. But the story continues after that, probably another 3 books.
Okay, so it's got legs.
I hope so.
It's definitely got legs then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be 5 books.
Excellent.
Good hope.
Yeah. Vaughan, you've gone down the indie route for publishing. Have you been through it's quite often we hear from writers, the painful experience of trying to connect with the traditional publisher?
I didn't even look into traditional publishing. I just went straight into KDP, Kindle Direct, and then later on I read about all the horror stories, and I thought I've made the right move. I'm my own boss, basically.
Yeah, true.
Not beholden to anyone's purse strings, basically. So.
Yeah, and you can edit whenever you like, can't you, and put it back up.
I did think maybe all the hassle with editors and getting beta readers. I guess a traditional publisher might sort that out for you, but in the end, it didn't really matter to me.
I've heard a sample of the audiobooks, and they sound great. Tell us how you went about choosing the narrator, Michael McMahon. Did you pay him up front, or have you gone for the royalty share thing on ACX?
I've gone up front.
Okay.
I paid up front because at the time I was a bit nervous about getting someone in to do all this work to get the audiobook done.
A lot of work.
They get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel fair. So I paid it up front, but I thought that was the best route.
It's quite a hefty book.
For me and for them.
400 pages. Is it roughly about 8 hours long? Is it the audio version?
Yes, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work potentially for them to not really get much in return. So I thought it'd be fair to pay up front instead.
Okay. How's it doing sales wise compared with the ebook? Which is the best seller? Get your paperback or your ebook or the audio?
Dribs and drabs. It's not really. I don't really sell too many, but sci-fi is quite. We've got quite a few authors in it, so there's a lot of competition.
Yeah,
a lot of others that potentially catch people's eye instead, but that's not really why I got into it. Is to make sales. It's to tell the story.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same in most genres, to be honest. I mean, there's a big market out there, isn't there? So it's never going to be easy, and you've just got to be in the right place at the right time sometimes to get that lucky break.
Yeah.
But like you say, and a lot of authors say exactly the same. It's all about telling the story because that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So good on you. So when it comes to reading yourself, what type of fiction do you enjoy yourself then, or reading wise?
When I've got the time and when there's no other distractions, I'm more of a sci-fi person. I'm specific. I don't like first person narration. I prefer third person sci-fi. At the moment, my favorites are the books by James S.A. Corey. I've got the whole thing of them on my bookshelf. 6 of them at the moment. I'm on book 5. The Expanse series. I'm quite enjoying that. Others I enjoy the works by Eric Nyland. Done the Halo books, which I quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's that sort of style of sci-fi.
Okay. Is that Halo? Is that a TV series as well? I think The Expanse is, isn't it? I think. Is that on Netflix?
The Expanse is a TV series. They've cancelled that now. Yeah. It's ended. But I found the books better.
Yeah.
So you can get in depth of the characters a bit more. Whereas on screen, you're limited to what you see, basically.
Okay. You mentioned that you're writing the whole series of books. What are you working on at the moment? What are you writing at the moment?
So because I'm waiting for my beta readers to get back to me about Smokefall.
Yeah. I've
got a couple of spin-off like novella ideas that stem from Smokefall at the end, sort of a bridge between Smokefall and the third book. One I'm sort of about a third of the way through now is, I call it Mirror Nights. It's just a short spin-off. I'd say it's about family and war, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. It's a short story. It's easier to spoil. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
How do you get your ideas? You're putting pen to paper. So where do your ideas come from, and your stories and your characters? Do you get them off seeing people and saying that's a good character for my book, or does it all come in your head, or what?
It's all from my head, really. Obviously, there's some bits that might be informed by people I've seen in the past that at work or on the train or the bus, stuff like that. But basically, I've been told me from a bit of a daydreamer. So in one of my school report cards says, he's a bit of a daydreamer. So yeah, most of it comes from my head, and then strangely enough, weird dreams.
Yeah.
So I just had a dream, and that helped me quite weirdly complete the lithium story from the animal people thing, the idea that I had before, moved on to the story I've got today.
Dreams, daydreams, and people watching then.
Yeah. They say write what you know. That's some of what I've done.
True. Yeah. True.
Did you, when you get up in the morning, did you write your dreams down? I know some people do.
Especially no. I wish I did. I don't remember all of them, but it's just the weirdest ones that you tend to remember.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I find I wake up and I can remember this dream, but if I don't write it down straight away, it's gone, and then I can't recollect what it was again. It's a weird one, yeah.
Going off on a different tangent. What are your ambitions as a writer? You got plans for hopefully maybe a television or a film production for Project Pilgrim?
It would be nice, but there is potential there. I mean, it's not something that would be a high budget thing either. So it would be nice, but again, it's the same as trying to get a publisher. There's a lot of work involved in trying to sell it to.
It's luck as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
As Steve said, the right place at the right time. Connecting with the right person.
Yeah, it's a full-time job trying to sell a screenplay or a pilot script.
Have you written any screenplays for this, or is it pure just the narrative, the novel narrative?
No, I've been tempted to use someone on Fiverr to rewrite it into screenplay for me.
Oh yeah.
So I've put out feelers in the past, but
yeah,
I just thought it's a bit expensive for the moment.
Yeah.
I just want to see where the story goes.
Oh. Yeah. So. You said you get a lot of your ideas in your head, whether it's dreams, daydreams, people watching, whatever. So on the mechanics of your writing, do you use notebooks then to write ideas down when they come into your head, or use sticky notes, or do you go straight on your keyboard, or do you type it into a phone? What's your concept behind?
It's all electronic. It's
writing a book.
I just create a Word document to start off my first draft, and then most of it goes in there. And then when I'm out and about, if something comes to me, I can get my phone out, open Word, type away, until the idea is down. And then other times it's just a little keep notes app on the phone. I can stick a little idea in there and then develop it a bit later. That's what I do. Nothing on paper, but it's all electronic. So I can store it on the cloud and it's all safe then.
True.
We've spoke to authors who've got sticky notes plastered all over the fridge, the microwave, the kitchen, or the bedroom, and and they're just referring to them all the time because there's that many ideas come into their head. So, I mean, everyone's different. They just wanted to know what your take is on it. Some people carry a notebook around when they're out, or various ways.
I use OneDrive, and then everything's saved on there, and then I can access it on whatever device I'm using.
True.
So no need to mail it to myself. It's in a folder that I can access anywhere.
Yeah, that's the beauty of OneDrive and Google Drive. Yeah.
And
Go on, Terry, sorry.
It's backed up as well. It's safe. We've connected via a good friend, the prolific writer Emma Bruce. How did you connect with Emma? Through Twitter?
Through Twitter, or X as they want to call it now. But yeah, so she messaged me. I think I followed her on it's one of the writers' lifts, or the shameless self promo Sundays or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then she messaged me and can we exchange feedback on our books? And yeah, that's how it started. Yeah.
Okay.
So have you had a couple of chats with her?
My mum's now a big fan of her books. So
brilliant.
Right. Yeah. So have you had a couple of chats with Emma on Teams or on Zoom or anything like that? Or
no, just through X.
Yeah. Okay.
Your mum likes the Pink Club.
Yeah, she likes it.
Are you using any other social media for promotion besides Twitter? Using TikTok or Facebook?
Just that. No, I swore off social media quite a few years back, and then writing has sort of brought me back onto it. But I'm just sticking to the one platform.
It can become full time.
Yeah, it is, especially when you've got other commitments. So it's a lot of time to just like reply to tweets and promote stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's a brand new writer, wants to write a book for the first time? What would your advice be?
Like with me, if their story is going nowhere or it's stalled, just step away from it for a while. If the story is worth pursuing, then an idea will come to you, whether a dream or in day-to-day life, and then, or you may even think of a better one. So not to try and pull your hair out trying to sort out a story that's not going anywhere. Just step back a moment, have a look, just live your life a little bit, and then go back to it. And then the other one is when you're writing, it helps to have it read back to you as well. So there are apps that you can use to have your manuscript read back to you. So it helps you with any choke points in your writing, or so you can see if it flows. So having that extra sense rather than just your eyes, hearing it as well, it does help with writing.
Which app is that for? To be honest, I don't think anyone's ever said that to us before.
So
they haven't. No.
There's a few now. So I've been using 11 Labs. You just you can put your text in and it will read it back to you. It's artificially generated voice, but you can still see if it flows.
Yeah.
I find it helpful.
Is it free, or is it you got to pay for that?
I think there's a word limit. Yeah, about 5,000 characters or something.
Okay.
But it's only little bits. I don't put my whole text in there. It's only when I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I think, hang on, this doesn't sound right. Let's have it read back to me. But it's useful. Yeah, definitely useful. You can even have someone else read it to you, like a family member.
Are you secretive? Do you share your work when you've written it, or do you keep it until you got near to the final draft?
My mum tends to read them. I let her read it, and then she gives me some feedback on it. I know it's probably a bit biased, but just to have some feedback. And then when it's ready to go out, I've got a couple of beta readers I use and send it to them.
Oh.
Just going back to we were talking about before, mechanics of your writing and things like that. Now, I'm aware that you've got a full-time job as well. So when do you find is the best time for you to sit down and write? Is it weekends or evenings or whenever? Because it must be difficult. We find out with lots of authors.
Yeah, I find evenings probably the best. I just sit down for a couple of hours and unwind and just write. I have the TV, so I've got quite a big screen for my computer. So I have TV on the one side, writing on the other. So I unwind with a bit of TV and a bit of writing. writing at the same time.
Okay. But when I'm looking at time's nearly caught up with us, so maybe just a final question from me, if it's okay. And I'm going way off on a tangent here. Do you prefer Star Trek or Star Wars, or either, or neither?
Stargate.
Stargate. Yeah. The series or the film?
If I had to choose between Star Trek and Star Wars, it'd be Star Trek.
Oh, brilliant.
Deep Space Nine specifically.
Do you know what my son loves? That I've never been able to get into it. I don't know why. He keeps saying I need to watch it. But
so, it's a bit more gritty and down to earth.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Voyager for me is the best series, Star Trek.
Yeah, so Voyager would be second for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 of 9.
I'll stick with the original Star Trek from back in the 70s.
Brilliant. Yeah. I've watched each of them about 100 times. I think I've worn the film out, I think. But Vaughan, looks like time's caught up with us. But it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. And let's keep in touch.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you. Lovely to speak to you guys.